What's up, everybody? It's Alex from Heavy New York, invading California for NAMM 2020. This is the final day, and we return with Bill Hudson. Thank you so much for your time, man.
Thank you. How's it going, man?
Doing good. A little bit of deja vu. We spoke at this exact spot last year.
True. I think we look a little better this time, though.
Yeah, definitely. Really, I think you look better. I mean, this is the final day at NAMM. I think everybody's a little hungover today.
Yeah, everybody's nammed out. That's the conversation I've been having with everyone. How's it going? Oh, man, I'm done. I am too.
But you just told me before we started recording that you are working on some new music for NorthTale. Are you just for people who may have not have heard the previous stuff or anything like that? Can you maybe give a brief rundown on what we could be expecting from the new NorthTale music?
I mean, we're still in the early stages of writing, honestly, but they can expect, the same power metal style that we had on the first record. We want to push the boundaries a little further, because you can't write the same record twice. Although personally, I have to say, it took my whole life to do this one record, and it's kind of hard to top it. They always say that, it takes your whole life to do your first record, then the second one is the hardest. But I mean, we have a lot of ideas. We have over 25 snippets of things ready between all of us. Also, I wrote pretty much the entire first album alongside with the singer, and this time everybody else is contributing.
So being that everybody else is contributing, maybe there'll be some newer elements that maybe the last one didn't have, right?
Yeah, absolutely. As an example, our bass player is a great orchestrator, and we didn't know that until we were, in the final stages of the first record. So now we work with that in mind. There's stuff like that. Our drummer has great arrangement ideas that he didn't really bring up the first time because he was just a drummer. Stuff like that. Becoming a band as opposed to a solo project is a process.
For your guitar playing, especially within soloing, do you have a theoretical element, I'm working off of this scale and this mode and this key, or is your guitar work rather improvised in a way?
I think at this point in my life, I've been playing for so long that it's become a combination of all. I think that you need to know the rules before you can break them. I'm definitely not one of those guys that will say, "Oh, I just sit and play what I feel." That's not true. Although it is what I feel. The difference is what I feel, I can name it. I can tell that I like major thirds or or perfect fourths, as opposed to just playing. But will I ever not play something because it's theoretically wrong? Absolutely not. Okay. But I want to be aware that it is theoretically wrong, if that makes sense.
Absolutely. I love that term, know the rules before you can break them.
Exactly. It's I hear a lot of musicians that say, I'm outside the box. I just do my own thing. That's very easy to say. It's like being a painter and throwing some paint on the wall and calling that art.
Yeah.
You wrote a bunch of stuff that makes no sense and you call that art. Great. I mean, if that's your thing, okay. I would rather be conscious of what I'm playing, even if I have to sound like that. The sound, as someone wisely said, a power chord is not any less powerful because it's a perfect fifth, right?
Yeah. Wow. That was very deep.
It's true.
Yeah. Now, we touched upon it a little bit last year, but in terms of playing with Trans-Siberian Orchestra, Westfield Massacre, NorthTale, all these projects, is there a usual method behind the madness that kind of applies to all your projects, or is it a new approach and a different mind frame all the time?
I think it is always a new thing. It also depends on how involved I am with each project. Like with the Westfield Massacre, I did everything. So it was from the very beginning. I was writing music around Tommy Vex's voice. What will make this guy sound the best using my music. In the Trans-Siberian Orchestra, I'm told what to play. You play this. I mean, there's some improvisation. There's, right here you do your solo however you want to do it, but, it's still very much playing their music, interpreting someone else's work. NorthTale, again, I just do whatever I want. What do I feel about this? So it is a different mindset, especially when you're having to learn music. Bye. That's Metal Sanas, everyone. I will. And I feel that every situation is a whole different thing, for sure.
Do you look for inspiration, or does an idea for music sometimes just come out of nowhere, out of the blue?
That's a great question, man. Because like I do look for inspiration. I First of all, I don't really listen to the same kind of music that I play in my day-to-day life. Not because I'm too good for it or anything, but because
It's your job, so like.
yeah, it's the same chords. It's someone else doing the same thing that I do. So I listen like lately. I've been a lot into more electronic music, like the Chainsmokers' latest record.
Aphex Twin.
Yeah, dude. Yes, I like that, dude. I I I think the best inspiration comes from things like that. Sometimes in electronic music, there's a really heavy part and a little break and a little tiny element. You can totally think that in metal terms. Like a really heavy part that breaks into an acoustic part. And it comes from a song by the Swedish House Mafia.
Yeah.
So yeah, I look for inspiration everywhere, and it's I think songwriting is as much as technique is something that you practice.
Yep.
So the more I can hear and turn, oh, I like this idea. Let me put that into my music. The more I do that, the better the music gets.
Yeah. And the final question I want to ask you is the most difficult question for every artist to answer. How do you know when a song is done?
I don't. I don't. The NorthTale record, I can say that every single song in my head wasn't done. Like there was still things that I had that I was like, oh, maybe I should have changed that. It's not. What I do know this though, related to this, because I know I have, especially being in the metal world, I know a lot of guys that say I could write pop music if I wanted to. That's easy. And I'm like, okay, so you can write music you don't like. Okay, yeah. Well, how do you know it's done? When you hate it enough? Like, so I don't think it's ever done. Not to the person writing. It's not.
That was actually an answer I've gotten, like when I asked that, and they were like, when I start to hate it, that's when I know not to work on it anymore.
Yeah, it's true. With the NorthTale album, to be honest, I still listen to it. It's I created what, at least in my head, I wanted to hear.
Yeah.
So I never got bored of it. I still listen to it. I still have like different moments that I'm like, oh, this is my favorite now, and it's been out for a little while. I hope I can do the same thing on the new album.
Yeah. So before we go, I'd like to thank you so much for your time today. Is there just anything else with all the projects that you're in that you would like to promote that you're allowed to talk about?
Oh yeah. Well, coming up here in April in the U.S., I'm out with Doro Pesch, the Queen of Metal. This is April. I can't remember. The first show is here in L.A. at the Rainbow Bar and Grill anniversary party. So I'm with her in April and May. And then I Am Morbid tour in March, as well some festival things, but most importantly NorthTale. Hopefully some summer dates. We're doing Prague Power USA.
Awesome.
The first U.S. show is gonna be in September 2020, and I don't know. At some point I'm gonna muster the energy to do a solo album too.
Oh, really?
But that's a lot of work, and I always feel that that there's so much good shit out right now that I'm like, is that really a point in trying to do this? But I've been thinking that for like 10 years, so it's about time,
Yeah.
Especially now I can just release singles. We'll see. I'm gonna do something in that aspect this year.
I just like that you're always creating something.
Trying, yeah. Absolutely.
Well, Phil, thank you so much. Everybody, we are here with Bill Hudson. We'll see you next time for NAMM 2020.